Hello friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Jess. So I have a ridiculous amount of books sitting right here in my reading journal because we are going to do a flip through and a reflection and talk about April, like April reading. So for my new viewers, welcome. My returning viewers, welcome back. Glad that you guys are joining me. Let's go ahead and talk about okay, so let me actually back up. So one of my goals for 2024 is to read a lot more physical books. So I'm really kind of looking to see like how many physical books can I read each month. I will just go ahead and preface this by saying that April was a really low month of reading for me. I will share why. So the only physical book that I finished for April was Heartless Hunter. I read a total of 9 books. 6 of them were audio, 2 Kindle, and 1 physical. It was seriously a low month. Heartless Hunter was absolutely fantastic. I'm trying to debate if I want to end up selling this one or if I'm going to keep it. I think for right now I'm gonna hold on to it, but I do need to update my Pango books with the books that I finished in March. So, but this one, if you like YA, fantasy, witchy, definitely recommend Heartless Hunter. I really enjoyed it. So 2 of the books that I wanted to have finished for April, one of them is Kissing Bandit by Margaret Rose. The other one was Atomic Habits by James Clear. I did not finish both of these, so they are on my list to finish for April, for May. Oh my gosh. They are on my list to finish for May. I'm not even halfway through Kissing Bandit yet. Atomic Habits, I have absolutely got to take time to read today. I'm about right there. So not quite halfway through. I don't know. I'm totally slacking on reading. However, it is May. I've actually finished 4 books in May. 2 of them were like ones that I had started in April, so that's something. Before I go into books that I want to read for May, let's flip through my reading journal. So my reading journal is put together of pages that I created plus a Happy Planner monthly calendar. So perpetual calendar that I'm honestly not keeping up with for my author chats. Maybe I'll try to get back into it this month. And I just realized there was one that I did not update, so I will go and update it as I get to it. So as of when I updated this, I had finished 47 books. I would like to go ahead and make a correction for that because I have finished 50 books. So there was actually one that I missed yesterday when I was updating this. It should have been 48, and then I finished actually 2 last night. One was an audio and one was a Kindle. So we are at 50 for the year, which puts me at 50% of my reading goal. Very proud of that. So here's my wrap up. So I like to do a monthly wrap up where I put down how many books that I read, how many pages that I read, and then also the book of the month, and then kind of like some little notes about it. So here is January, and then February and March. So let's go back. So January was 13 books, February was 11 books, March was 13 books, April was 9 books. I did kind of mess up on this one. That sticker was actually supposed to go to a different page, and I forgot to size one for the book of the month, and I didn't realize it until after I stuck it down. And with this is like HP 32-pound paper. It doesn't like stickers. I need to figure out like better paper to get. But anyways, whatever, I'm ignoring this. But yeah, Heartless Hunter was my book of the month. And I will say, I had like April was, it was some books that I was just like meh about. it was books that I enjoyed, but there was only one book that really stood out. So it is a YA fantasy. It is a duology with the second one coming out in 2025. And it is about witches and witch hunters. And then this is the one that I forgot to update. So we are going to update it now. So for April, it was 9 books total, 1 physical, 2 Kindle, and 6 audio. You know, I'm actually not really, like, it's not that big of a deal to me that it was such a low month, considering that I have my own personal goal, but it's not that big of a deal if I read less than that. I will only be upset with myself if I just completely stop reading. So, all right. So for my top book of 2024, I am doing a bracket style. So every single month I am picking my top book. And then once I get to June, I will have to pick my top book between each month. This is going to be an incredibly hard decision, because I can tell you, so like, I'm pretty sure between March and April, I'm going to pick one moment. Between January and February, I have no idea. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but it is going to be incredibly hard to pick. And then every single month, I like to basically track when I start a book, when I finish a book, how many books did I purchase, how many books did I sell, how many books did I drop off at the little free library, how many did I not finish, and then I like to kind of mark down totals. So here's January, here is February, and then we have March, and then we have April. So I will say I put myself on a limited spend for 2024. I am sucking at that. I purchased 7 books in April. I did sell one. I DNF'd one. And I did not drop any off at the little free library. I actually have some books that I need to drop off. So I will be doing that this month. But yeah, so 1 physical, 6 audio, and 2 Kindle. As you see, I finished a book the 17th, and then I did not finish another book until the 30th. Like, I started 3 books, the 18th, 19th, and 20th. I actually finished these 2 in May, and this one is going to be finished in May as well. So as you see, yeah, I will say though, Taylor Swift album came out on the 19th, so it was basically from like the 19th through the 27th, I was listening to that more than reading. So that's kind of why it's been so low this month, is because I had music that I wanted to listen to instead. But then we have my books read. Basically, I fill it in and I color them in based on the number of stars. So far, I have not had a book that I have finished that is under 3 stars. We'll see if I happen to come across any books that I finished. And I do not mark off my DNF right here. I will mark I kind of track DNF somewhere else. So here's monthly arcs. The only time that I actually track the DNF is if it is an arc or an advanced reader copy. So I DNF'd 1 in January, 1 in February, and then this one was actually like, well, okay, so this is when they published. So book that published in January, I DNF'd it. A book that published in February, it was a DNF for me. And then in April, I read one that was publishing in May, and again, it was a DNF. So it is what it is. I do have an update that I can be able to make on this, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now because I finished the book, The X Vows. I finished it last night, so I can be able to now color that one in, which is a 5-star for me. It was an extremely good book. I adore the author. Like, her writing, in my opinion, is just top-notch. Which it was Jessica Joy. So I finished The X Vows by Jessica Joyce. For the A to Z challenge, I only filled out one. So basically the A to Z challenge is I'm taking like 5-star books and I'm marking them off on a to Z challenge after I read it. If it has the words "the" in the cover, "the" like THE, I am not including it on here. I'm going to save that until the very end and then decide if I need it. And I'm kind of being like really picky about which books I put on here, by the way. So then we have my monthly TBR. This TBR is not exclusive. May so far is. May is kind of like really high up there. But like these were the ones that I had kind of set at the beginning of the month and I just colored them in as I read them. This is my May TBR. I can be able to go ahead and mark one of these off. I absolutely love the fact that I can do that. And I do have, I think I have like maybe 1 or 2 other books that I am going to add to this. Because I would love to see, like, of all the books that I pick, how many do I actually finish? Okay, so then my monthly arcs. Basically, this is like my TBR for specifically arcs. So right now, I only have 4. One of them is done, but I'm actually going to be adding another one to it because I've decided which one I want to read for my arc next. So then after the monthly arc, we have my 24 books in 2024. As of now, I have only read one of them. I will say though, that for my May, for my May TBR, Same Time Next Summer and The Gungle is both on that. And I think that may be it. I don't know if I'm going to get through all 24 of these books. If I don't, they're going to go on next year's list. And then my Create Your Own Bingo pages. This is a bingo that I'm doing every quarter. That basically is like a clear your shelves. So I am working towards reading physical books. So this was January through March where I read 8 physical books out of my goal was 9. And then this is going to be for April through May. April, May, June. So far I have 1. However, if I can get through like all of the books that I want to read, I could potentially fill this thing up because I currently have 7 books that I would like to read. And then I have 2 more, which would actually put me over that 9. So we'll see. We will see. And then I have Bookopoly, which is something that I'm doing with Plan with M. Oh, and by the way, the Clear Your Shelves bingo is something that I'm doing with Danielle Reads. And I can drop their Instagram links below. They're really good Bookstagrammers that if you are looking for like book recommendations, I highly recommend both of those. So this is the Bookopoly. Basically, as I'm reading a book that meets the prompt, I'm writing it down, checking it off, and then I'm putting just like a little tab to cover it up so that way I can actually also visually see it as well. And then my book club. So the traveling book club is one that I read Heartless Hunter for. I have to reprint out the photo because of my whole fiasco, but that's okay. And then we actually planned like May through December already. So I just kind of wrote them down on like a transparent sticky note and then I stuck it on there so in that way as we get to the upcoming month and I can be able to add it, and then that way if we change things I don't have to feel bad because I already wrote it in there, because this is like, these are like my pre-planning sort of. And then one of them, so like my main book club group, we've been doing a lot of traveling arcs. So I have decided to start keeping track of those. So the month is going to be the month that I read it. The title is the book, obviously, author. And then I removed the Zoom date because we don't Zoom and talk about these books. We may chat about it in the chat, but really that's it. So I don't know what I'm going to use that for yet. Maybe after like posting, I don't know. I need to figure that out, and then my rating. And then of course we will be putting the pictures at the bottom. For another book club, we did DNF our March book. But we do have one picked out for May, which is in my list. So I'm going to be starting on that one soon. This book club, we would have, okay, so it goes every other month. So January and then March, May. We are actually not going to be, so I didn't get a chance to read the book for March. We're actually not doing one for May just because they weren't able to schedule it with an author. The authors were not available, so we're not going to be picking it back up until July. So that one is kind of staying slim. And then we have my genre in pixels, which, now that I was just thinking about it, I can be able to mark off 2 more of these. So 4 books so far in May, but April was 9 books. I read 5 romance, 2 fantasy, and one thriller and 1 young adult. And then reading time in pixels. So yellow means it was up to 1 hour, because I do try to read every single day, even if it's just 15 minutes. So yellow's up to 1 hour, green is 1 to 2 hours, purple is 2+ hours. Beginning of the month started out really strong, and then as you see from the 11th to the 13th, it was very minimal. 14th was still a bit stronger, 15th was minimal, 16th, 17th was stronger, and then starting from the 18th, bam, it was very little reading, until it kind of picked back up towards the end of the month. And that was only because the album released on the 19th, but since it releases 12 Eastern AM, and I'm on Pacific time, it dropped 9 AM Pacific for me. So I was able to listen to it on the 18th, technically. And yeah. And then my daily reading for physical. So I like to track when I read a physical book every single day. So that's where we are at for that. So May has only been the 1st and the 2nd, but I will be reading a physical book today, and by the end of the night, I will be able to check it off. And then Kindle. So I've done a Kindle book every single day this week, or every single day this month. And then April, so like for these days where it was either a Kindle or a physical, after the 18th, I would have just done for like 15 minutes, and that was it. So I did check off that I read, but it really wasn't for that long. And then the same thing, like the 18th and 19th, I tried to listen to an audiobook, and honestly, I just went back to the music. No audiobook this whole time. And then I did pick up an audiobook starting the 28th, because I was like, I am not ending my reading with the last book finished as of the 17th. So I picked up an audiobook and I finished it by the 30th. And then my low spin tracker. So yeah. I feel like I gave myself like cheat days in January. So like I bought books, but now I'm kind of really curious, because I'm like, I put that I purchased 4 books. Oh, I think I include, okay, so I think January I had Aardvark and Book of the Month, so I counted it on here, but I didn't put it on a spend day. February I had 2 spend days. March I had 1 spend day. But I did count in March when I got, I think it was like no, I did. Yeah, I did. I bought 1 book that day, and then I got a Book of the Month. And then April, I had 5 spend days. So that's where we are at. But May, I have had no spend days. I also haven't set rules. And I think it's because I'm not following the rules. So I need to kind of like figure out what are some rules that I'm going to be able to follow and I'm not going to feel guilty about following. So yeah, I'll figure it out. And I don't know, maybe I'm not going to have any rules for my low spend tracker. And maybe I'm just going to be like, you know, let's hold myself accountable for when I am spending a lot and try to do better. I don't know. Maybe I don't even want to keep a low spend tracker anymore. I mean, I do like keeping myself held accountable though. Okay, but anyways, here's my reading tracker. This is just basically where I write down the format, the title, the author, the dates read, and the rating, just because it's nice to see it in this format. So I do have 2 more to add to this. So I will do that. And then this is just a blank one. And then my ARC tracker. So this is something that I do keep a record of when I DNF. Which I do have to mark down. I just actually realized that one of the books I DNF'd last month, I did not mark down on here. Let me go back to... Yeah, I just realized that mistakes we never made, I did not mark it as a DNF on this, so I need to. And then my library holds. So basically this is kind of like when I pick up a book from a library or when I borrow like an ebook or an audiobook, I'm going to start tracking it on here. And I will admit, I am not borrowing a lot from the library right now. Just because I've got so many other books to read. But I had one in January. Actually, this one was from January, but I can't remember the dates, so I just left them blank. And then I'm putting how much money that I'm saving. And then here's my book rating. So it's just simple photo, title, author, the format, the dates, and then my star rating in washi. This washi comes from Archer and Olive. However, it is not available separately. It was only available in a subscription box. But I really, really like this because I think it's just a fun way to look at all of the books that I've read. And then I did stop at the end of April. I have not put in any of the books for May, but I will go ahead and like start writing them in. So that way at the end of the month, all I have to do is put in the picture. But I have lots of those pages in here. And then I have just extras in the very back, just in case I ever need anything. But there we go. Okay, so now that this is done, okay, so now that we are done with the journal, let's talk about books. So I mentioned 2 that I'm currently reading is Kissing Bandit and Atomic Habits. I want to finish these up within like the next couple days. And then the other books that I'm going to be reading, we have Make Time by Jake Knapp and John Zaritsky. This is part of the Jane's Agenda Master Plan 365. So we'll be reading this. One that I'm actually currently reading right now is Same Time Next Summer. I started this though on audio because I decided that this is one of the ones that I want to do as an audio/physical read. So I can be able to listen to like the audio sometimes. I can be able to physically read it, or I can be able to listen to the audio while physically reading it. So that's, because this is on one of my 24. I like completely forgot that I even requested this audio on Libby, and then I got noticed that it was available. So I'm like, oh well, let's go ahead and borrow it then. And then also I'm going to be reading The Guncle, which is going to be another audio/physical read, because the second one, The Guncle Abroad, is one of the arcs that I need to read this month, but I need to read this one first. For my traveling book club, We have The Housemaid. I've already read this one, so this is going to be a reread, but I did the audio first. This time we're doing the physical. I have Attached at the Hip, which this one I'm actually part of a traveling group for. I joined the traveling group and then I was sent the advanced reader copy from Wednesday Books. So what I've decided to do is I am going to plan on maybe reading this before I get it from my group. And then I'm gonna like annotate this one and then just copy over the annotations to the other one. We'll see how that works. I also want to read One Last Summer by Kate Spencer, but this one is not like a priority, but it's maybe one that I save maybe for early June, like it'll be late May, early June. And then finally, Missing White Woman by Kelly Garrett. This is for a book club, and this is one that I want to do an audio / physical read at the same time as well. This one's a thriller. Yeah, it's like a mystery thriller. So lots and lots of books for this month to read. Let's see how I can get through them. But that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And I would like to know, what was your favorite book that you read of April? And if you want to share how many books you read, go ahead and drop that too, and I will cheer you on. Thank you guys so much. Thumbs up, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the next video.